Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, Nai Kanam Tom Day. If you're into Muay Thai, you might know who Nai Kanam Tom is. It's also my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. My mother is 70 years old today, which is pretty amazing. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys a little heads up and update, or excuse me, a little update from the gym. We had classes last night. We're trying to limit the amount of people in the building, at least in the training area, to 10 people per the president's recommendation. It's a recommendation and not an order yet. So we were trying to maintain, some usability here. What we may end up doing if it gets worse. Right now I'm running on less instructor help than I normally do. Basically, it's right at this moment, it is me, Will, and Sam that have not elected to stay at home yet. Moving forward, I am likely going to suspend the 6 a.m. classes, mostly because it's basically just Sam, because I don't want to get up. And I want to kind of lighten the load there. I think it's good during this time, especially if somebody's to come down with something, and we need to keep our immune system strong and get as much sleep as we can, eat the best that we can, and try to limit our exposure. And so I'm gonna try to take. There's only been a few people coming to the 6 a.m. classes, and I'm imagining that most people are not working. At least if they're working remotely now, unless they're in the food industry or something like that. So we're gonna suspend the 6 a.m. classes. I would say if you wanted to come in and do some jujitsu with with a friend or a training partner or something like that, I would say that's probably okay, as long as you understand that, if they've got it, you're going to get it, okay? So there's some things that we do here that offer limited exposure, which is basically, certain types of, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai training, Filipino martial arts. In Filipino martial arts, you can just focus on the stick, and work on just sombrada techniques if you wanted to. Sinwali. So work on Sinwali techniques if you want to, which, you wouldn't even be touching the other person at that point. In the Muay Thai classes, we've been trying to focus mostly on bag work and shadow boxing. I'm going to be putting out some videos and on how to, basically drills you can do for shadow boxing. I just posted up a link to it is Webby Agility, right? So if you guys have seen that kind of circular ladder that I have at the gym, if you've used it at all, we used it a little bit yesterday with the kids class. We had 2 children in the class at the same time as the adults were training. I was running those classes simultaneously because we were short on instructors, and so that may affect operations a bit, but I still want this to be a place where you can come and get a workout in and keep yourself strong, keep yourself sane, and also, limit our exposure to this and kind of do our part. But I think if we're careful, I think going to the grocery store, you're probably way more exposed at the grocery store than you are here. And as long as we can, keep disinfecting everything, keep mitigating, our exposure, limiting our exposure, I feel like we're gonna be all right through all this. We don't really have a lot of older clients. There's a handful that are in their 60s that come to the gym. The main thing is that you're healthy, right? And so this virus is basically attacking people who are compromised, right? So older people who have, in their years, developed, some lung or heart issues as they've gotten older, maybe lifetime of smoking, maybe just genetics, whatever. But it's mostly deadly to those people, people that have a history of heart disease and lungs, lung stuff, COPD, all that kind of stuff that comes from smoking or bad genetics or what have you. That's usually who is going to have the biggest problem with that, with this virus. And we don't normally have a whole lot of those people here at the gym. The biggest threat would be if you've got loved ones at home that do have these compromising ailments. The fear is that you would come in contact with somebody and then take it home to them, and then they're not going to be okay. Maybe their bodies aren't strong enough to deal with it. I posted an article on both the Facebook business page and on the private group, and it talked about a woman up in Washington who had gone to a party, and she got sick a few days later with flu-like symptoms, high fever. She had like a 103 fever, chills, cold sweats, all that stuff. And then she handled it like a flu, went to the pharmacy, got a bunch of, flu medication, stuff like that. And then she got over it, right? She learned about a week later, I guess, that 5 people from that party had been confirmed with COVID-19 or the coronavirus. And so she was able to order a nasal swab, and was able to swab her nasal cavity and then send it back to the place where she got it from. And a few days later, they contacted her and said that she had come up positive for the coronavirus. And so she was young, and she's young and healthy, and she basically, just treated it like a flu, and she was fine. And if you look at a lot of the graphics coming out, like on the internet and stuff like that, you'll see that 80% of these cases are mild, and you might only get cold-like symptoms. And so I don't know, some of you might remember the middle of February, I was sick, and I just isolated myself, and luckily we had, the gym and me, right, had the support system in place here so that I didn't have to teach classes during that time, right? So I isolated myself, and I treated it like a flu, and I had a fever up to 105.6 when we measured it, and I just, did the stuff that you do when you have a fever, hydrate, keep yourself cool, that kind of thing. And I isolated myself so I wouldn't get anybody else sick. And then, a few days later, it was, I kicked it. I was feeling it. I was feeling the effects of it and some weakness for a couple of days afterwards. But, and I don't know, I don't know if that was just a normal flu or if it was, maybe it was a coronavirus. I don't know, but, we're going to try to ride this thing out. We're paying attention to the news and the mandates as they come out. If anybody needs anything, I'm free, right? So if anybody needs anything, send me an email, send me a text to the gym phone. The gym phone's 858-536-1100. If you send a text to that phone, either myself or Erica will get back to you. We've got she's isolated at home with her kids, but I can get out. I can get out and come help if you guys need. If you need something and you can't get out to go get it, let me know. I can come to you. So we'll get through this. It's unfortunate. I was really excited about, some stuff coming up, and it looks like the stuff coming up may not happen. So I've got plenty of coffee, so that's a good. But we're gonna play it by ear, and we'll keep on moving. It's not as bad as everybody thinks. I mean, it's gonna seem like this week, it's gonna seem like this thing just blows up, and that's because we've got tests now, right? So what we didn't have up to this point was we didn't have a large volume of tests, and so now we do. So that means there have been people walking around, probably or isolating themselves or whatever. There have been people that they thought might have the coronavirus, but they weren't confirmed cases. And so now with these tests, we'll be able to confirm those cases. So you'll likely see the numbers jump, right, quite a bit, because we just didn't have the test to create a confirmed case. And so now we have those tests, and we'll be able to confirm. We've probably got a load of people in the hospitals that we've isolated from people, or we've told to go home and isolate themselves, that we will now be able to test them and see for sure if they've got it or not. Okay. I think the last I heard, I think that was this morning, that the death toll in America is creeping up on 100. It's not there yet. I think it's like 80 or something like that. The last I checked. And I heard something when I woke up this morning, so I think we're around 80, maybe 100. And almost 20 of those were one nursing home up in Washington. I've heard that Wuhan, China, where apparently this thing originated, is almost back to normal, but who knows what you can trust coming out of the information you can trust coming out of China. Who knows? But if that is true, that's good. I know President Trump was saying that we've got this thing probably could go until July or August, maybe a little bit later. And what he means by that is, I'm assuming what he means by that is by the time we've got this thing completely handled. So it'll be probably July or August by the time we've got this thing completely handled. And so hopefully it's before that, we can get back to normal. But like I said, if anybody has anything, I'm still open. We're probably gonna pay attention to the emails and um, to the social media platforms, and I'm gonna make some adjustments today. We're definitely gonna suspend the 6 a.m. classes for now, just because there's only one or two people that were coming to that still, and I think that we want to, I think I want to try to limit, the workload or the exposure, and not have instructors come in when there's really not anybody here. We're going to be putting some video stuff up, hopefully within the next couple days, so you guys can have some stuff to do at home. I'm going to put some shadow boxing stuff up. I'll put some bag work drills up along with some options for being creative with equipment and whatnot. If you don't have equipment at home, some stuff we can be a little bit more creative with. Okay. But stay tuned for that. And I just wanted to check in with everybody so you can see my face and see that everything's fine here. We're just trying to ride this thing out, and we will remain flexible and adapt to the changing scenario here. So we will, as the Marines like to say, we will improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay, so I'm just finishing my coffee, enjoying my coffee, and see if anybody swings in for the 11 a.m. classes. I may talk to the Jujitsu coaches and well, basically Will, and see what he thinks about suspending actual Jujitsu classes, and then leave it up to you guys. Maybe create an open mat, and leave it up to you guys if you guys want to be, essentially fluid bonded with your partner, with a Jiu-Jitsu partner, and understand that, you might both get it. It's kind of like being married or having a girlfriend girlfriend or boyfriend that you live with, right? That you understand that living with that person, like, you're going to get what they get, so if they get it, you're going to get it. And so some people are ride or die like that. And so you might have a jiu-jitsu partner that you trust, and you're like, you know what, screw it. If he gets it, I'll get it. And then we'll get through that thing together. We're both strong. We're both healthy, blah, blah, blah. That's a big boy, big girl decision to make. And I'm not going to make that decision for anybody. Anybody that comes in for jiu-jitsu classes, I've just been telling them the same thing. Like, there's nothing that you can do here that will leave you more exposed than doing jiu-jitsu with somebody, or sparring in Muay Thai with the clinch and stuff like that. Even working focus mitts with somebody, if they're working hard and they're hitting those pads and they're exhaling and they're doing everything correctly, they are blowing air in your face. So if you imagine you walked up to somebody at the grocery store and blew in their face, they're probably going to punch you or try to punch you. Anyway, hit us back, send me a text, send me an email, let me know everybody's okay. If you guys need anything, reach out to me. I can go get it. Leave it on your porch. I'll put on a hazmat suit or whatever, and sanitize the crap out of myself, and then Lysol down whatever it is that I'll drop on your porch or whatever. But let me know if you guys need anything, emergencies, anything like that. I'm here. I love all of you guys, and guys and gals and kids. I love all of you. This is gonna be, we're gonna laugh about this in a few years, hopefully. So we'll be like, oh, remember that coronavirus thing? You know, blah, blah, blah. So we'll get through this, and hopefully, you know, we'll have, you know, some memories before. Okay? So hit me up if you need anything. I'm going to sign off and see about, you know, keeping this place open, hopefully. Okay? All right. Cheers.